On this episode, we're live from Fort Wilderness to talk about the new Villains and Little Mermaid shows at Hollywood Studios, as well as say goodbye to Muppet Vision 3D. Today's June 6, 2025, and this is episode 778 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I'm your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey guys!
If you want to be part of the community and join the conversation, get the latest theme park news, as well as live streams from the parks and resorts, head to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic, and on TikTok at MSM Podcast.
Planning a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World can be overwhelming and at times just downright frustrating. But don't worry, because Mouse Dining removes the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
Are you ready for your bucket list trip? Our trusted partner, MEI Travel, will handle the planning so you can focus on the memories. They offer free vacation planning services and have nearly 20 years of experience creating memorable vacations. Visit mainstmagic.com/travel for a fee-free, no-obligation quote today.
Hey guys, so we are here sitting at Fort Wilderness.
This is toasty.
Because we had to turn the fan off.
Well, we had to turn the fan off because it was very loud in the microphones.
And I'm very nervous.
Which are already picking up all of the background noise. So we had to turn the fan off.
I'm very nervous for bugs.
There are bugs, more than we've usually seen. And there are also other things.
Animals.
There's animals everywhere at Fort Wilderness. And we've been here plenty of time. We've been here dozens and dozens of times we've stayed here.
Lots of squirrels.
But it's very active. There's blue jays, there's cardinals, there's tiny dinosaurs, little tiny dinosaurs. There is a danger noodle whose home is apparently on our site, but he has been relocated by
that guy picked him up.
The nice gentleman. Yes, he said that he got him for us, and he moved him into the water behind their campground because there was a very nice kid from Mississippi staying right across from us. And so he came over and he was chatting with us, and he saw earlier when Rhonda freaked out. He didn't see me freak out is the thing. And then asked what was up, so we told him. But here we are. We're at Fort Wilderness. So what we're going to do for this isn't going to cover the whole trip or anything. We'll do next episode. We're going to talk about caring for giants we're going to do tomorrow. We'll talk more about the weekend in general in Fort Wilderness. We'll talk about Geo 82. We'll talk about whatever the heck we eat, because I don't know what we are eating
what are we eating?
all weekend. But we did want to talk about what we did today, which was go straight to Hollywood Studios, because we had 3 shows we had to see, right? We had to see the new Disney Villain show. Had to see the Little Mermaid show.
Yes.
And then we wanted to say goodbye to Muppet Vision 3D. So, all right, so we headed straight to Hollywood Studios then, and when we drove down, and first up, we pretty much headed directly to Disney Villains.
Yes, we did.
And Fairly Ever After. We made a quick stop in Pandora to check on some things that we're going to come back and get later. But we got down there right a little bit before the 12 o'clock show, and they let us know that the 12 o'clock was full.
And we were in line for the 12:30.
Yeah, but we're going to be one of the first groups in line and all.
Yep.
So we're going to have to wait about 45 minutes at that point, but that's fine. You know, right now these shows are extremely busy because they're new.
They are, and there was plenty of shade. There was fans.
Yeah.
I felt fine waiting the way we did.
I think if they had built Toy Story Land originally and thought about queues the way that they thought about this queue here, it would have been much better off. You know what I mean? With the installation of where these fans are here, both portable and ones that they had mounted. Again, all of the structures in the shade and the umbrellas and stuff to keep people a little bit cooler, I thought was great. So, this is where Lightning McQueen Racing Academy used to be.
Yeah.
We saw that once.
Yes,
that was all
did.
we really needed to see it.
Correct.
Personally. It felt like a very throwaway show.
I mean, for me.
Yes, for us. It
because
did.
we don't love cars.
like...
Well, no, I meant in the sense of the setup and all. You know, you had metal benches in there.
Oh, yeah.
You had, you know, it
felt pop-up-ish.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, like a pop-up attraction type show thing that you know, Disney does some of these touring things, or you know, like Marvel will tour and do these little things. That's what it felt like. Was like, hey, we're going to be in these 5 major cities this summer showing this Lightning McQueen Racing Academy. Come out to your local whatever, and that's where they're doing it. And so going into the theater, what did you think, knowing what it used to be, which was basically a big open warehouse, screens, a Lightning McQueen animatronic in the middle, and a whole bunch of really uncomfortable bench seating?
I felt like this was amazing.
Yeah.
The seating was beautiful, and I just felt like this is like A, here to stay, and B, like it was not a pop-up by any means.
No.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, the only thing that feels temporary is the signage outside. And that's probably because it is technically going to be somewhat temporary, but I don't think the theater looked like that at all. Yeah.
Not at all.
I mean, to rip everything out and put in nice new seats, like the stage setup and all these magic mirrors that are like
really
all over, and then as you're sitting waiting for the show to start, like towards the end, villains, like their eyes will just start showing up in the
and
fog
you try to guess
within the mirror.
who they are. That's what I was doing.
So you're kind of trying to guess. It reminded me of being at Animator's Palette on the cruise.
Yeah.
When they'd start drawing the animations on all those frames, and you try and guess what it was before anybody. So I just thought the stage and everything, you know, was amazing. You have a big center stage area. You have 2 platforms with stairs on either side that you figure somebody's coming in or out of and going up and down.
Which was really cool because I wasn't sure, so I was excited.
And then there's there's layers. You know what I mean? There's layers of both screens, of physical props with kind of screens. There's a ton of projection mapping that is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the actual show. So Disney says, enter the realm of the magic mirror where dozens of villains are trapped. They want the mirror to reveal the truth. Which villain has been treated the most unfairly of them all? Now this is showing daily. So basically in the morning right now, like as of today, and this is probably pretty common for a while, 10 and 11. Then in the afternoon, basically from 12 all the way up to 5, it's showing every half hour.
Yeah,
which is super impressive.
That is.
This is a 17-minute show.
Yes, it is.
So you got to get everybody out of there, everybody in, the actors, like, it's insane.
Yep.
And then you have shows in the evening at 5, 6, and 7 p.m. So plenty of chances to see it.
Yes. And you want to see it a couple of times,
You
possibly.
may, yeah. So, okay, let's talk about the show. What do you think about the show? What is it?
It was
What's
phenomenal.
up? Like,
It was, it's all villains, and it is with, like Jeremy said, screens, and then live actors come out. We had Cruella de Vil, we had Maleficent, we had Hook, and that was it. There's 3.
You do get appearances in form of Hades and of Jafar.
Correct.
Which is super cool.
And they looked real.
The Evil Queen.
Oh yeah, I thought Evil Queen was coming out.
Yeah.
But she didn't. Yeah, it was really, I mean, it was cool. I wonder if, like, do you get Evil Queen?
No. So I believe the show's the same the entire time, except for at the end, basically.
Okay.
Each villain is coming out to basically say, look, they're the most misunderstood. You know, they want your vote. They're trying to get through the magic mirror. Only 3 technically make it through.
Right.
By the way, spoiler alerts. Hades and Jafar kind of show up. They don't exactly make it through. All these other villains show up who can't make it through. So magic mirror is basically like, hey, out of these 3, you pick. And we're going to do it by applause, right? And then one of them wins and has their own little final kind of moment and number.
Yeah.
And I believe that can randomly change at the end.
I agree.
Now, again, going into something like this,
That's the way he said it, too.
Right, yeah, because he basically was like, yeah, come back and see who picks next time. With stuff like this, I go in as blind as I can, so I don't watch any kind of video about it. I don't read anything. I try and get as minimal info as I can so that I can be surprised by everything.
Yeah.
I was surprised. The music is outstanding.
God, the music is good.
The villains, the folks that they've cast in this are all incredible. I can't get over the clarity of this projection mapping in these screens. It comes to a point where there are some moments, and we'll talk about this more when we do the Little Mermaid review. There's moments where it is hard to distinguish between screen and real.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that means you're doing the absolute best possible job of doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
By creating these layers,
100%.
having multiple screen layers, having both, live video, like all this stuff is just outstanding. So I would, 10 out of 10. I was blown away.
Yeah, I was too.
What do you think is going to be this show? Do you think that this is a kind of a test run for Villains Land? Let's see who.
I hope so.
I mean, but you got to figure, everything that's going in Villains Land is probably decided.
But is it?
Maybe not.
I mean, it's a villain, and I mean, all right, let's go back to my sleeve.
Okay.
And when we started talking about villains, and he was like, well, what do you want? Who do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I'm like, oh, well, I know I want this and I want that. I think Disney might be like, yeah, let's
They're
do
figuring
this
out.
and that.
Yeah.
But we're not 100% sure of like the rest, so let's give it figure it out and do something like this.
And maybe it's that. Maybe it's partly a teaser. Villains Land comes out, and the attractions, the shows, the dining, and everything is mainly themed around Maleficent, Cruella, Hook.
Yeah.
Maybe Jafar, Hades, Evil Queen. Like, are you cool with that? If that's the main kind of core, like, what do you?
I mean, like we've talked about this before, but I would like, for sure, Mother Gothel.
Yeah.
So.
I'd like to see a big representation from a Mother Gothel, from a Gaston, from, Ursula, from some of these other major villains. Here's what I think. I don't think this has been mentioned. Maybe it has. I think what Villains Land might be is kind of what this show is, which it is going to be a land that is a safe haven for villains. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily,
I like that.
Everybody wants to say, all right, well, Epic Universe opened, or Universal opened Epic Universe. We've got Darkmoor, the Dark Universe. It's scary. It's real monsters. Like, but Disney's got something. They got to really live up to that, but they don't. They're not going to make that.
No, 100%.
They're going to make a family-friendly, villain-friendly land that I don't think is going to have moments of fear and true darkness. I think it's possible it could be more like this show.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's
100%.
going to be much more like, look, here's a place you can come, and you're welcome even as a villain. It's basically, what's the frickin' island?
Descendants?
Yeah, in Descendants. I can't think of the island name right now that they send all the villains to. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be modeled more of that type of like thought process.
Right.
And then still be able to go back and pull from the Maleficents in that castle, and from, I don't know, maybe you end up with a Hook, Peter Pan type section, but I think that's what it would serve best as in Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody thinks they're going to try and all actually go like a little dark or scary or make it like adult. They're not.
Oh,
it's not.
Of course.
It's going to be very friendly.
Yeah.
And everyone will be welcome, especially
100%.
you villains, because they're all misunderstood.
That's right.
All right, let's go over to Little Mermaid, a musical adventure which is now open. This opened on May 27th as well. I did not realize Voyage of the Little Mermaid, the previous show, it ran for 28 years.
Wow.
I do not think I realized it was that long. So January 7th, 1992. So when Little Mermaid came out, the show was out. I didn't realize it had been here that long.
Wow.
And then it closed March
I realized
15th,
either.
2020 with the pandemic, and of course never reopened until now. It is now a musical adventure. You relive Ariel's enchanting story in this dazzling theatrical production inspired by the animated classic, The Little Mermaid. This runs continuously, basically 9:15 a.m. to 7 p.m. It doesn't have show times the way that Villains Unfairly Ever After does. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of continuous. But they will have posted outside how long you have to wait. And this
Our
theater
post said 40 minutes.
Yeah, and it was. I mean,
Was it? I think
yeah,
so.
And these theaters are filling up as well.
Yes, they are.
Whether it's still locals that are coming out to see it, whether it's semi-locals like us that are coming to see it, whether it's the fact that families are doing their research and said, hey, this new show opened.
Right.
Or they haven't been here in 6 years and they thought, hey, I remember this show from last time. Let's go right in.
Right.
So, theater queue, same, right?
Yeah, but it smells better.
Yeah, I
when you're
noticed that was the
in
only change I noticed was in the waiting area.
inside waiting
Yeah.
area.
It used to be very musty.
It was very strange.
Yes,
Yeah.
and now
smell
it's
very
much
good.
better. But theater's the same.
Yes.
You do have this front screen with the, again, spoiler alerts, I guess. You shouldn't listen to our reviews if you don't want spoilers. There's this front screen that has a projection on it that reminds me very much of It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tough to be a bug.
And you got this little guy that comes out and he'll like talk to you and
he's the,
announce it.
He's the little, what do you call him?
Seahorse. Yeah.
That introduces in the very beginning.
So,
I love him.
So this is, again, you know, if you did the old one, right, Voyage of the Little Mermaid, is very puppet driven.
Yes.
It was laser driven, you know.
Yes,
You'd have some lasers and
right.
stuff up in the sky from
Yep.
like 1984.
Yep.
I think I got them at Radio Shack when they first built it. And Radio Shack was one of the best stores ever. You could find anything you needed there. Ever. If it had to do with an electronic, you could find it at Radio Shack.
Okay.
You'd be like, I need a 3/4 inch headphone jack that goes into 7 individual USB-G ports that then transfer to a DVD player for a VHS. And they're like, that's right here, sir.
Okay.
I have you. So anyway, if you remember the old show, it was very puppet driven. You had some live actors and all. It was the same thing. It's a retelling, right?
Right.
This is going to use these layers. So you're going to have several screens that are using both projections, actual physical props, physical actors, puppets, back projectors and screens. So you have all these layers, right? And do we usually start with things we didn't love, right?
Yeah, because we end on stuff we like.
Yeah. So what did you not love about this show?
The whole thing. I'm just kidding.
A lot of portions.
I'm just kidding. No, it was just really different, and I do probably want to watch it again to see if I would like it better. I love the singing. Ariel was a really good Ariel. But did you notice how she came out too? Like, I don't know, that was weird.
Like it looks like so they're still using some of that blackout technology, I guess you would say, where you have puppeteers and you know, backstage folks basically, or stagehands, doing things on stage that you can't see because they're wearing all black head to toe, full body suits, the same thing I sleep in at night, and then and then everything around them, the screen, everything's black and only illuminated and bright and stuff is like Ariel. I will say that part was cool. I mean, it kind of looked like she was swimming, but she was going sideways because of how they had to do it. You know what she looks exactly like is on Under the Sea ride when she's in that room and she's just doing her little hand. That's exactly what she looked like.
And I mean, it was a big mechanical thing that was holding her.
Yes.
Like, it was really crazy.
Then she slides onto the rock.
Which
that was from kind of the last one.
But I don't even know, I don't even know if she slid on it or she was just in front of it on that mechanical thing.
I will say, I think the technologies, for the most part, are pretty incredible.
Right.
I think the idea is incredible. I think the actors that played Eric and Ariel were excellent.
Ariel was. Eric
didn't have much to do. I didn't care for his outfit. Something was weird about his outfit. It looked like it looked like one you would go buy at like a secondhand, like, I don't know, some knockoff store, but they don't have the company doesn't have the licensing from Disney, so instead it's like Prince Derek. But everybody's like, we know that's Prince Eric, but you put some weird stripes on his white top, and now he doesn't look right. And he's wearing a wig that looks like the Lego Snap-on hair. So you have those two things going for him. So anyway, I did think that Ariel was outstanding. Dog was great, man.
The dog Max was great.
Here were my issues. It uses more screen than I think it should because it has a lot of characters such as all of the sisters, right? You have moments of screen Ursula, you have moments of puppetry Ursula. You have all Triton. You have all Triton screens.
Which I'm glad that was all Triton screen.
I don't know if I was, because here was the thing that ruined most of the show for me, and I could not get out of my head. The animation, the graphics, the CGI, whatever you want to call it, of any folks looked like, and you're going to know exactly what I mean if you've ever seen one, a direct-to-DVD Barbie movie. That's what the anime it is. It was awful. I think they would have been better served if they used the classic 2D cartoon style animation from the animated movie. Nobody's going to be like, wait, that was a cartoon. That's a real person? What's happening?
Right.
You're not confusing anyone, you know what I mean?
Right.
By doing these, trying to be 3D. So I thought that part was really bad. And I think it almost ruins the show. Because I could overlook the other things. The one other thing is the story moves along so fast
because it's like the whole story
in 12 minutes or whatever it is, 17 minutes, so it's understandable, but I felt like the pacing and the storytelling was better in the old version, because from here you go from Poor Unfortunate Soul, you go from Part of This World, Poor Unfortunate Soul, direct into Kiss the Girl, and then from there it's we're stabbing Ursula with a boat.
That was kind of cool, though.
No, the way they did that layered scenage and stuff was incredible.
That was cool.
I can't even explain
really
it.
Cool.
It looked like slow motion. Yep, and there were pieces of the boat. Did you see that? Were breaking and moving.
It was.
And then
really
there's these flashes on the screen in front of you. That part was awesome.
It was.
So again, everything about this had the means to be really good. I just think it had some small missteps because I could overlook the storytelling, that it moved so quickly that you're confused almost. Now, to be fair, everybody knows the story of the Little Mermaid, most
100%.
likely. If this is your first ever interaction with it,
you're in trouble.
Okay, you might be confused, but that's okay.
Yeah. Go home and watch it.
Yeah, I also missed the giant reveal of Ariel from her tail to her legs.
Yeah.
That they did so good in the original. This one, they don't pull it off that way.
No, they don't.
It wasn't.
I think it was folded over. I think something was not right.
She didn't have a tail. It looked like it was just a dress folded over.
I think she was supposed to. I think it was supposed to look like a tail.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Because you still had the smoke, and then she's all of a sudden like, hey, I have feet. And I'm like, yeah, I saw them 2 minutes ago. I know that you have feet.
Yeah.
Other than those things, though. Okay, would you recommend people go see it?
Of course.
100%.
Absolutely.
I think the technologies and stuff are awesome.
I just don't know. I want to see it again.
Yeah.
But then after that, it depends, and I don't know if I want to see it again after that. But I'm sad I didn't get wet. I will say that much.
Yeah, the little spritzes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go see it.
They call it 40.
And then we will go see it again when we bring people that haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But you're right. Other than that, we'll see it again just to see it. But I could see going to see Villains pretty regularly.
Oh, yeah.
You know? All right.
Every time I'm in Hollywood Studios, I'd like to go. Now.
To see Unfairly Ever After?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to go. The soundtrack is out on Spotify. Those songs were good.
Absolutely.
They were kind of like, you know who it sounds like wrote those songs? I do not believe you did, or I thought I would have heard of it.
Who?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Not
quite that level, but they had that kind of you know what I mean? So, all right. Last day to experience Muppet Vision 3D is June 7th, which will be tomorrow when this comes out. We got our last viewing on June 5th. A couple little things, if you didn't know why I think Muppet Vision is so loved, dearly loved. First of all, people love the Muppets who love the Muppets.
Right.
You know what I mean? It is a kind of a cult-like following in a sense. It's one of those, I think you go to people and say, do you like the Muppets? It's either heck no or heck yes.
Right.
There's not a lot of in between, right? This was one of the last projects Jim Henson personally worked on.
Correct, which is sad.
Because he directed and he voiced Kermit, of course, for the film, before his passing in 1990, and then 1 year later this opened in 1991. So a very important part of Muppet history, right?
Wow.
Debuted at Disney's MGM Studios, of course, at the time, on May 16th, 1991. And it was a major milestone in the Disney Muppets relationship. It helped usher in more Muppet content in the early 90s, most of which, of course, has disappeared. It was duplicated at Disney's California Adventure in 2001, but eventually replaced in 2014. And did you know that in the 30 years that it's been around, basically, over 30 years, while many attractions have been updated or replaced, Muppet Vision 3D remained untouched.
Wow.
Since the beginning.
That's amazing.
So I do think that they, not that long ago, I thought they refabricated. What do you call that?
Refaced?
Refabricated?
What?
What do you do? How would you do if you said, hey, I have a chair and I don't like the fabric on it, I would like new fabric on it. What do you
reupholster it?
Reupholster. I think they reupholstered the seats.
Okay.
I believe, but other than that, I mean, it hasn't changed. Much like Hoopty Doo Review here at Fort Wilderness. Isn't that a good?
Good.
Little, like, segue.
Yeah, we should be going there to eat.
Oh,
Just
that would
kidding.
be
What
fun.
are we going to eat?
I don't know yet.
Speaking of eating.
So we watched it again.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I love this show, and everybody in there is laughing. I think it's, you know, it's one for all ages, which I
Yeah.
think is so important to have.
Yep.
And we didn't go see it a ton, but I'll miss it being there.
Will you?
Yeah. You know, I think this is going to lose that last portion of the Hollywood studios that I remember so fondly when we first started coming a ton,
With
that
Lights,
had
Motor,
Streets of America,
Action.
Lights, Motor, Action, and all of that. You know what I mean? And this is kind of that final portion of that whole area that I feel like we're losing. You know, so for me, that's the nostalgia. It's like the last piece of that puzzle on that side. But like I've always said, you know, every park needs attractions, whether it's rides or shows, that can take people in and make them happy that they did something.
Yeah.
And this is a great one, and Hollywood Studios has a lot of those. So what they'll do with this, I don't know. I mean, if they bring Laugh Floor over, revamp it, put it in the theater, keep the theater untouched, you keep the building and the facade, you know, because you're probably going to blow away behind there for
Laugh Floor, though. That's a big.
It's a big theater, and the
Big
layout
theater.
isn't well for it either. I
Yeah.
mean, just based on how a Laugh Floor. But again, if you revamp it to a Laugh Floor style show, but not the same thing, then you can fit it in that theater, right? You know, we're gonna get the Muppet Mayhem ride. It's gonna be for Rock and Roller Coaster when that happens, and I guarantee that queue is gonna be filled with props. You know what I actually would love for them to do? I don't know if people agree. Is the exact same plot, the exact same script. It's just now Muppets. You know what I mean? So instead, they're in the booth, and they have a show to go to, and they want to get a stretch limo for their friend. It's almost the exact same, except now it's all Muppets. Excuse me. So I do love it, and I think it stinks we're losing it. We dined one last time at Pizza Rizzo.
That was kind of cool because it's been a really long time since
What did
we
we get
did
there?
that. Well, we went ahead and got the pepperoni and sausage pizza because it's meat. And
We hadn't eaten a meal yet.
extra
It was
meat.
3 o'clock at this time or so?
It was like 3:30, I think.
3:30,
or
4
almost
o'clock?
4.
Yeah.
We did have the Corella
We did get the
Pass
Corella
holder-
Pass Holder exclusive ice cream sundae.
first.
Yes, that
So
is
that
at
was
Hollywood Scoops.
Yep, and that was in a chocolate waffle bowl with cookies and cream ice cream with chocolate drizzle and whipped cream and sprinkles.
Yeah.
And I thought it was freaking fantastic. It was the first thing we ate.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was freaking fantastic, except I don't know why Disney World, when we get bowls, waffle bowls, they can't get them right. They are not crispy. They're chewy.
Yeah, they're chewy, and not like a good chewy, like a brownie chewy. It's like a
No.
leather chewy almost.
It's weird.
And it ruins it. But everything inside
I
is
ate
awesome.
it. I mean, I still ate it.
I had 2 bites of the bowl, and I was done with the bowl. But the inside, the ice cream, cookies and cream was outstanding.
Fantastic.
The whipped cream tasted like it was homemade.
I think it
the
was.
sprinkles were that perfect little crunch. Like I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yep.
But back to Pizza Rizzo.
Yeah, sorry. So we got the pepperoni and sausage pizza. Of course, it's topped with pepperoni sausage, served with the choice's side, which was they just gave us the side
Caesar salad.
This is $12.79. And then they have a non-alcoholic frozen peach Bellini. So we got that, and then I wanted a Diet Coke because I was tired. I was getting real tired. So I got a Diet Coke, and then they had a pizza cookie. They did describe it as a sugar cookie with some strawberry
jam,
on
which is like your
top.
marinara. So your
Yep.
cookies a crust. White chocolate was basically your cheese, and then it had
little pepperoni.
little pepperonis, which I
That was
think
probably some
might have been the
chocolate
jam
or
or chocolate again.
something.
Yeah,
It was super good.
it was good.
We still have some.
We have half of it. We should have had it right next to us. We could eat it while we're talking
And we
about
could
it.
tell you more
That
about
would have been
it.
good. The cookie wasn't a Disney sugar cookie, which I really like, but it was still good. It was more of a cakey cookie.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it had been a shortbread. And then with the strawberry jam, it would have been like a Linzer cookie that I enjoy a lot.
Okay. But this pizza was really good. This is that, Jeremy
It's
calls it DiGiorno. Okay.
Yeah, and it's fine.
really good. It's like thicker crust,
Yep.
so I liked it.
In that place, man.
And then it was
smells
super
so
cool.
good in
It
there.
does.
It's got such a vibe.
Yep.
It was packed.
Yes, it was.
You know, so
now remember they only stay open till like 5 o'clock.
no, they're staying open later these last nights or two. So I mean, people only technically now have tonight and tomorrow night, Saturday night. But get out there, just support it, show it you love it. And then what was cool as well is that they had PhotoPass photographers out in Muppet's courtyard.
Yeah.
You know, to get photos like in front of the little snowman near Mama Melrose.
Yep.
In front of the Miss Piggy fountain. Like, so that was super cool. You know, Disney knows what their people like, and they do, whether people want to think it or not, they do stuff for their fans and their guests.
Oh, of
like
course.
that. You know, that is something that'll be very important, I feel like, to those people one day who are getting that PhotoPass photo. So I thought that part was really cool.
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, I think these shows are a great addition to Hollywood Studios. You know,
especially when it's hot outside. Go in and sit down.
Yep. Yeah, go in, you know, catch a break. They're both around 17 minutes long, you know, so you can get some AC and all. Yeah, get off your feet. Really enjoyed them. You know, everybody continues to talk about it. What is Disney going to do now that Epic Universe is over?
Oh, my goodness.
And everyone's, oh, you gave us 2 shows at Hollywood Studio? It's all part of a bigger plan.
Right.
You know, look at what we have in the past several years as far as shows go. Mm-hmm. Finding Nemo got a complete revamp, right? Lightning McQueen turns into villains. You know, Little Mermaid, they do a complete revamp. I know it took forever, but you know, they are doing things to keep them modern, keep them up to date, to keep their parks up to date as much as they can. All is one collective response.
Right.
I still just believe that. No, not for 1 second did somebody in a boardroom at Disney say, they're opening a Dark Universe land. What if we do one villain show? That'll teach them. You know what I mean? And then 8 other people were like, yeah, yay. It's got my vote.
Right.
Right? Except for the one guy in the corner who said nay. Brad. An intern. He's new. Shouldn't even get a vote. So yeah, go check them out. Do love that they have these now. And goodbye, Muppet Vision 3D. Mama Melrose. Pizza Rizzo. I need that in... Mirandum, whatever the music behind it, you know, piano, sad music. But we're not going to do that. All right.
Okay.
Tune in next time. We will tell you about the rest of our trip, including that Caring for Giants up close with elephants that we're going to be doing. We are going to check out Geo 82. We'll do more fun stuff at the campground, and we will let you guys know all about that. So hit subscribe, get brand new episodes every single Tuesday and Friday. Of course, myself and Rhonda, we'd be very thankful if you could please leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.